Let me know once my screen is again visible now. My screen
Yes, it's visible. Yeah.
visible, full screen, right? Okay. The main and the most important part of any transformation is identity. How we will discuss this, and we will see how we can tune our identity in such a manner that we are becoming what we want to become. That is the main agenda that we will cover. We will not cover all the things that we have discussed because we have limited time. So, thing is that just remember your childhood days. Okay, you might have actually come across few of the situations wherein actually you got an impression or you got very much kind of impressed with some identity, some personality. Basically, I will not say identity, some personality, and you feel like, oh wow, this is so awesome, so cool, and you want to be like them. Can you recall such kind of moments in your life?
Yes, yes.
And you believe it or not, at that very moment we are creating the visualization or the visual version of our future self. That is the first step, wherein actually we have created the identity which actually appealed us, which we feel that okay, this is how actually I want to lead my life in my future, right? So this is something which we never knew that what is exactly happening. So the neuroscience behind it is a little kind of, what you say, not known to us, but that was the stage from which we have started crafting our identity. Okay. Now is a time when we have the opportunity to understand it deeply. Okay. And understand the deeper intricacies or neuroscience behind it, so that we can craft the identity which we really want to create in our life, or which we want to impersonate in a scientific or in a better word, if I want to say. So for that, the first step would be creating the intention. So now this has two parts to it. Okay, identity impersonation is having two parts. One is at a broader level, we have a vision, we have a picture of our role model, we have understood how our role model is, and we want to be like that. That is one. And the second one, which many of I have never seen actually this being discussed in any of the sessions or any of the kind of such kind of coaches have touched upon it. That is on a regular day-to-day activity level. So what is our, so we will touch, or we will kind of focus on both the part. First, the visualization that we do. Okay, the kind of person which we want to become. Nowadays, it is even more easier to prepare a visualized visualization or a kind of a visual model of that particular identity with your face. Basically, if you want to make a body like Arnold or like Amir Khan or whoever it is, I'm just giving some random kind of examples. So just take that person's that particular attribute. Okay, suppose you want to have the kind of abs that Hrithik Roshan has or whatever it is. So the more and more you have that picture coming to your mind, okay, through your eyes, through your third eye. There are three eyes, right? One is two eyes, that with which we see the physical poster, and the third eye by which we regenerate that. That is even more important. So the more and more we see the identity that we want to become, our thought, our behavior, everything will be aligned. We are thinking that okay, this is something like very simple thing or very trivial thing, everyone says about it, but it might not work, so we are not doing it. No, it is like that. And it is not that only one identity we want to impersonate. Why? Because see, I may be liking to have body like him, like one person. I might be actually feeling more motivated to talk like Modi or influence like Modi. So why not? I can have a different identity. So we can pick and choose the identity which is really helpful to us in building our attributes. So the second point that we need to remember, it is not one identity, not every characteristics of a person we want. So focus in your vision board the kind of personality which you want to be like, and the kind of suppose someone like Tony Robbins, if we want to become, it is not that we want to become like Tony Robbins in every aspect. It might be the way he speaks or the way he delivers the speech, the way. So pick a picture which he has kind of which is very much similar to the to our ambition. So when he is delivering some thousands of people, okay, that kind of with that kind of background or that kind of vibes, you take a picture and put personalize with the help of AI. AI is going to help us to create the picture which we want to become with the kind of environment or the vibes that the other person or our role model has. So this is something which we need to do, okay, and see it again and again. So this is the vision board anyway we have done, and I hope you all have the vision board with you. If not, do it, and this particular thing should not be missed. Now coming to the intention part, which is more and more important in activity level. How? Suppose I am starting my day, okay, and I am starting to work. That particular time, I need to bring the higher focus in me, the state management, which we can in short actually we can say state. So the state that is required for me to have before I start my work is something which we know, like maybe I'm going to work in an Excel. So and you must be knowing someone who is very good at Excel in your office or something like that, and like, or maybe your manager who is very good, very pro in Power BI or PPT or giving presentation, and the kind of Excel he does, the kind of modification, data transformation he does is excellent. Okay, just close your eyes. Okay, this is very important. Activity level, close your eyes, impersonate the kind of activity, the kind of seamless transformation he or she does, okay, and just feel it. It could be also possible that in your past, if suppose you want undivided focus on undivided attention for next 2 hours, and in your past you have experienced that, but from a little longer you have not experienced. So you need to like kind of bring that kind of state by visualizing your own past. Okay, that intention is very important. What we do generally, we just sit on our laptop and we start working, and we have not created the kind of physical state or mental state which is required for us to continue working with the kind of flow state. So that intention, that 2 minutes of gap will make a bigger difference. So in the beginning anyway, beginning of the day, we are planning for our day. Now, before starting, as per plan, we are picking the activity. That also is very important. If we are somehow dislocated, then let's take this opportunity and make sure that from tomorrow we are planning and then only working. If there is no plan, better to spend 5 minutes and plan at least 3 important activities. Otherwise, we will be spending most of our time in digital anxiety. What is digital anxiety? Anyone wants to guess? It's a little new term, but we all go through that. Anyone wants to guess?
Scrolling through emails, messages, WhatsApp,
Yes.
just catching up on what is online.
Exactly, Noel. You got the point. So that is kind of anxiety actually. That is not the kind of work we want to do, but because we are anxious, because we are not having the proper state of the physical and the mental state has not been tuned or primed. It is also called priming. We have not done, it is very likely that we will be kind of getting diverted to the digital disruptions and be more and more anxious. Okay, it is not the curiosity, actually it is a false curiosity that we might be actually going to the news and checking one after other news. Is there any end? Is there any finite finite number of news that we need to know? No, it has an infinite supply. It is meant for like that only. So it is okay to go to that and see, but not in the beginning of the day when our energy levels are very high and we are in the peak state. At that particular time, if we are starting with a digital anxiety and doing the action which is of very low productivity or kind of very easy task also, for that matter, for easier task also, it is not at all advisable to pick as the first thing in the day. So the practice that we are going to do, all of us, please make a very conscious intention that from today, not from tomorrow, from today, whatever work we are going to do, at least for 1 minute. Let's start with 1 minute. We'll start with an intention. Okay, we will try to understand and figure it out what kind of identity or the traits or the skills that is needed for me to do this particular work. Okay, bring that. जैसे रामायण महाभारत में होता था ना, जैसे कि एक आंख बंद करके देखते थे, ऐसे ऐसे गायब से एक तीर आ जाता था. The kind of तीर that the kind of bow and arrow that is required for that particular situation, they used to kind of what do you say? Uh,
Manifest it.
yeah, manifest it.
Visualize that.
Yes, visualize. So some mantra or something, they were just closing their eyes and they were just getting the kind of weapons that they wanted. So similarly, we need to have our weapons ready before we go to the battle. We are just jumping to the battle and very likely we will be kind of defeated. So that intention we will be keeping, and it is not only we are doing, at least once we need to write that in the group. It is when we are taking the accountability and committing ourselves to the group, that and we are doing it and writing and being grateful to ourselves. We can write that, okay, I'm grateful to myself that I remembered and primed my physical and physical state and mental state. Okay, or I primed myself and created the right skill or impersonated the right skill before I started my work. So that practice definitely we want to do in next 7 days. This is one thing which is very, very important, and at least once from each of you, I am expecting to be kind of posted in the group.
Because it's
Can
the
we do
micro
that?
journaling now.
It is kind of micro journaling, but we are adding one thing here. We are adding one thing is the kind of state or this kind of skill. In micro journaling, we were doing the what is most important and how I will do and all those things. It is little beyond that. It is kind of that only. It is little beyond it. There is a scientific way now, scientific name now. It is the identity impersonation that we are going to do. It could be our own identity in the past, which we want to regenerate, or it could be someone who we admire for that particular skill, for that particular identity, and we'll do it. Clear?
Could you give an example? Because like what do we
Sure.
do and how do we express it in the group?
Sure, sure. So let me go to the next slide. This is partly visible. See, still it is visible. I will show you like this person is going to present a speech. Okay, so before giving the actual speech, what he has done or what he should be doing is just visualize and bring his previous state when he has given the best speech of his life and got literally standing audition, or someone he knows is very good at that speech. So just visualize that particular situation or particular scene when you have delivered the kind of speech, the kind of confidence that you were having that time. And once you visualize that, okay, then go and deliver the speech. There is another way also. You can go and literally rehearse the same kind of events in a blank auditorium. So we can dry run that in our mind, or we can actually rerun that physically. Because the first event is like little easier to rerun. So I said that, okay, it is possible, but not everything we can rerun physically. So in our mind, we can rerun so that our subconscious gets acquainted to the events, that is to the challenges also what might come, that also our subconscious mind can see in advance and टैकल इट इन ये विनिंग हो चुका है जैसे कि द सेकंड पर्सन हु इज एथलीट so it is a very known practice for the athletes they definitely do the visualization of success. They impersonate the kind of state that they want. For them it is more of physical state, so they impersonate and then only they go to the real that field. Similarly, for the third one who is actually doing some study. So this is very much important there. So what kind of focus I want, and when last time actually I had that kind of focus, and I got really immersed into the subject and went into the flow state. Definitely, we must have gone through those kind of moments, and we can recollect that memory, reinstall that, and grab on the opportunity. Make sense? Noel?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
Vikas.
Vikash, this is very clear. Just like to say, what I'm thinking is like all those who are part of this AI evolution. It's like prompting it and defining the role that as a
Exactly.
suppose we
Yes.
need a technical we are having a technical problem, so we say it as a best technical architect having 20 years of experience.
Yes.
How do you suggest the so it is like impersonating the AI and then asking what do we need.
Exactly. I was just coming to that. If hopefully you have seen um, the invite also. In the invite also, I have written the same thing. That
Okay.
yeah. In last session's invite, if you see exactly the same thing I have written, it is no way different how the AI is
Okay.
working.
Good.
So we are giving a role to the AI. Then only we can expect the best of the results. If we are not defining the identity, okay, and we are just vaguely asking the AI will not say no. It will give you something. It might hallucinate or it might give you something very close to the answer. But the work, believe me, might not be very prudent, very effective. So
Yep.
what we do, we give the role first as a architect or as a coach or as a author, as a writer, as a creator, whatever actually we want, we first give the role to it. Then it is like AIM. First is we are giving the aim to. I'm forgetting actually the acronym. What was there for AIM? I'll come to it in the next session. But yeah, it is something which you correctly said.
Assign, maybe.
Assign, I think, yeah, assigning the role, then I for
Probably instruct.
instruct, yeah, could be, yeah. The instruction we will be giving is the kind of work that we really want, and the context also is very important. Actually, the context was part of which one? M is not there. Anyway, I will check and let you know. The context building is also very important. So this also helps in accepting our language, and evidence building automatically happens. Evidence building is the result that we want to achieve, that we build in our mind before we start the activity. There is a very popular saying, not very popular, but very to the point and very much important saying by Brian Tracy, I think, or Stephen Covey. One of them has said, very, very profound statement: begin with the end in mind.
End in mind, yeah.
Begin with the end in mind. So we need to build the evidence before we evidence and the result of the evidence also. That one will also means it's a journey. Full in 1 minute or 2 minutes we will. It is not required to do this every time we work for any mundane stuff also, for brushing, for everything. At least for the deep work that we do, at least once or twice or thrice we will be doing. I don't want to overdo, or I don't want to kind of make it a ritual for everything, because if we are planning to overdo, we might not do at all. So this is what actually is a 3-step that we will be doing. Automatically, the language shift happens in the process. When we wear a different identity, automatically the identity of the person, suppose we are having that kind of task where actually we want to impersonate Modi ji. So automatically, if we have enough information gathered about him, then the kind of language which he uses, the kind of suppose we are going to give a presentation with his kind of influencing strategy, then it will automatically impersonate in us. So that is the beauty of it. Okay. So yeah. So see here actually it is. I just made it very similar to how an AI works. As a confident speaker, we need to say I. We are not giving the role to the AI. So I, as a high performance achiever, I, as a master of discipline, I. Okay. So this way we need to bring the skills that we really want to build. Then actually we had discussed actually there are myths about some screen, and then this how to actually, in short I will tell, because most of you were not in the last session. Vitamin D is very, very important. Get your vitamin D level check, and I will not go to it, but you can just Google it. It is so important on our brain health also, not only on our physical health. Vitamin D and vitamin B12. And so, as you all know, that I'm focusing on the 3 aspects: our health, wealth, and relationship. So health is also very important. So last week actually we have covered in this range from 9:30 to maybe, actually now it is kind of winter, so it will not be up to 4:30, at least 2:30. Any time in this time frame, 10 to 3 actually it is written, but you can based on the sun, when the sun is very high, it's high and potent, that time only vitamin D synthesis can happen. So we were actually told that morning sunlight is good, but in that we get high amount of UVA ray, not UVB rays. So UVA is actually the reason for aging. So we might feel cozy, and we might stand or kind of walk in the morning sun for maybe half an hour or 45 minutes, because we won't feel hurt. But this is a myth actually, because that will create the aging, that will create the wrinkles. Rather, UVB rays are actually, it will hurt you, so you cannot stand for longer time. It might create burn also, but it will not create aging, and it will not actually harm much. Right? Yes. Yes, Rutiji. Take it, otherwise it will damage to such an extent that it might be actually be too late to detox ourselves or go to the level which is required. So 10 to 15 minutes is actually recommended, but we have targeted at least for what do you say, like kind of 5 minutes to start with. Anything we are starting, we are not starting with a very high notch, but slowly and slowly, Kaizen way, we will go. Yes, Melinji.
Yeah, thanks because yes, my doctor here, yeah, she gave me the timing 11 o'clock in the morning because
Yes,
previously we used to think it is a sunrise time, but now she says that no, that time is changed now. More D
yes,
vitamin is actually 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. If you are getting
exactly,
the exposure to sun, so I completely agree with the range which you have specified. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
exactly. You got the point actually. So that is what actually. So this myth actually is not very known to many. So not everyone is fortunate to get it advice from doctor. So I thought that let me cover it in our session so that, like, if someone is very fair, then they need not to stand for longer duration. But if someone has a darker complexion, then they need to have a little longer sunlight. Otherwise, the vitamin D will not penetrate to the extent it can really create the difference. Right. So this is what actually will not continue any further because it's already little time is done. I think I will, if someone wants and already completed the previous commenting of the previous video recording, ask me for this recording and I will give you this recording and you can go through, or we can also kind of revise in the next session the next content which I had covered last time about the brain functioning or the kind of this also I wanted to do actually this visualization of observer, detached observer mind, but we will do it in the first 5 minutes, maybe next session. We first cover this so that we don't miss it. Now let's come to the Q&A session. Anyone has anything to share or ask?
Yeah, because you can add something from
Sure,
today's
sure.
topic. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. Very key here, as you know, I'm doing this master NLP course. Yeah.
Yeah.
From Pawan Bhatt and Mayornesh. So let's see. My favorite topic you touched today is identity. I will just share a quick example of that. That is my favorite example. This is the psychology test done in one of the small school. Small school, the small kids were there, and half of the kids of the classroom, they mention that you are the police officers, you are all police officers, and half of the school kids, in that classroom, they said that, okay, you are the villain or you are the thief. Okay, so immediately once they get identity, those police, the small kids, those are police, they start beating the others. Just changing the
Yeah.
identity, just applying that identity that you're police, they
Yeah.
start feeling that they are police, and their
Yeah.
job is to capture those thief. Those small kids, they do not have anything this thing, but just giving the identity, they change their rules, their thinking, and that you touched today. So yes, identity is very key for changing your behavior. That is the core of the Atomic Habit book. And I recently seen that in one of the group where few people, once they become the admin of the WhatsApp group, the way they speak to the other members and the way
Everything.
they are
Very much.
discussing topics is completely changed. And I said, no, those people are previously members, but just they become the admin. So those title, that identity actually change the way you speak, your language, etc. That is one example. Second example is what Noel asked, which is whether it is a micro journaling, all that. This is again the concept from Joe Dispenza video. Actually, very very simple. Actually, how our brain works. Like for example, if after my morning shower, okay, if I am taking say a lime juice, right? Okay, so from your bathroom to your fridge, you know where the lemon is kept, right? So whatever steps we take, okay, we always travel to future, we move to the future. Okay, so your brain knows that where lemon is kept, where is glass is kept, where is the water to take. So that is how your brain works. Now how today, because you explained that for that 1 hour, okay, what the end result that you want, we need to know that end result in your mind, in your brain clearly. Okay, and that is what what is written in the atomic this thing, that every step, whenever you want to do something, okay, in 1 hour time, suppose you're writing the outpost report and all that, you need to verbalize, say to yourself. And it is a Japanese technique actually. I have seen that actually in one of the movies. They verbalize it and they say check, 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 check. Okay, so your brain gets that you are on the right track. And if you see at the end of the result, like end of the 1 hour, you are exactly the result or whatever you identified in your brain, you achieve that. And it is really magical kind of thing. But yes, whatever today's topic is, that is setting the identity and then setting the intention, that is end results in your mind. I applied this week. Thanks, because again you're touching the absolutely same topic. There was one report to be prepared, and my mind was saying that okay, I'm going to take 2 hours for this one. Okay, long this thing. I
Mm.
just applied this exactly same technique. Okay, this is again NLP technique again, because you thanks for that. Okay, at the beginning of that hour, I said okay, so at the end of this hour, I'm going to finish the report. This is all visualization. Okay, in this way. So all the path is already clear. Yeah, how I'm going to prepare, what is the end result and all that. And instead of taking 2 hours to prepare the report, I finished that report in 15 minutes.
Wow.
So whatever you are saying, that is absolutely right. And okay, I'm just telling you the last example which Pawan sir explained. Okay, he's a good NLP teacher, and I will share this with you. For example, we travel a lot through the flights. Yeah, we go different places through flight. Okay, so when you do the security checks, just remember, okay, just when you do the security checks, from security check to the boarding, what you do normally? Okay, in that particular period, after doing security to boarding, you have nothing to do. You just sit there scrolling your phone and all that. If you see, there is no responsibility at all. You're just scrolling your friends and all that through your phone, and there are people around. You're not interested, they are not interested in you, right? Okay, and then you do the boarding. Now when you enter into that 1 hour mode, it is exactly the same. Okay, at the beginning you do the preparation. That is what Bikaji said, you need to have the tools at the beginning. Okay, so you decide what, that is your micro journal, you know what needs to be done in that 1 hour. Okay, and you have all the tools, and you set the end results, that is your boarding. Okay, so if you observe, every 1 hour you actually enter into the box. In that box where you know the end result, you at the beginning you know the tools. And again, because if you remember, this is the idea from Indestructible book. Remember that book,
Yes.
Indestructible? It is the
Really,
same,
yeah.
it is a boxing kind of thing. So you
Mm.
enter the box with your tools, you know the end result, you just go there. And again, Pawan sir explained at the security checks to boarding. So actually you travel to those particular boxes one at a time, and at the end you come up with all the results, and your day is successful, like productive. Because in security checks to boarding, you don't do anything. In the same way, when you are sitting, that is, you are in that flow, because you know in this 1 hour in this box I'm going to do that. So the distraction comes out. If you, during your report writing, if you are touching the phone, you are out of the box. you know and after security checks, you can't go anywhere. In the same way, once you enter into that box, no phone, no touching, just focus this thing. And it really helps. So because thanks for bringing all this together in one particular slide. So yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Chip.
you for
Yeah,
adding more
yeah,
examples. It really helps actually.
yeah.
Okay. And we will discuss in the next session how the identity has been a barrier also for us. That also we'll discuss. The
Yeah.
identity with many examples actually will discuss, and we'll do few more deeper dive,
Yeah.
because it is kind of limiting also, to the extent if we do not uh, understand it properly and not doing it consciously. So we will
Yeah.
discuss about that also.
Yeah.
And detached observer visualization, definitely I want to do next time, because it is not only a normal meditation, but it is linked to journaling, it is linked to memory management, it is linked to emotional stability, many things are kind of linked. And I want to bring that habit with each and every member of our group. And that is so important, because these days memory is going in the early ages. Earlier, after 80, age 80, 90, like that, people were losing their memory. These days, if you see, we have started losing our memory to the extent compared to the previous generation, right? And we
Yeah.
need to make sure that we are doing the right thing, how to retain our memory in the right manner. that we will touch. Very simple. It is very simple, but because we are not kind of paying conscious effort, we are not doing the things in the right way. We will do it.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yes. Anyone wants to share anything or ask anything?
Because could you share just list of all those attributes or the divine virtues? How many we have done?
Okay.
If you send me the list.
Today, actually, yeah, I'll send you.
Yeah.
Today, I wanted to touch the next divine virtue.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are actually a little late. I don't.
Date, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is it okay? Like if because we know the format, we know we have enough discussed actually how the which all situations we need to apply how. So if it is okay, the next divine virtue I will draft with the affirmations, everything. A slide I'll prepare and I'll share with all of you.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that we can practice the next divine virtue in the next 1 week and progress further.
Yeah.
Right?
Awesome.
Okay.
Perfect. Good idea. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, thanks, Pikajji, for refreshing all the key concepts.
Yes.
Yeah, all are the core, ingredients for anything you take up, actually.
Yeah.
So just we need to, and excellent example, Milinji. And that's one thing which I always admire about the way you explain and, relate the things from all the different aspects with these beautiful examples. So really awesome.
Thank you, Rohit ji. This is just the resonance because you come up with so detailed work, the basic homework, basic foundation. Then it is just adding, whatever we learn. Like in the Indistractable book, I learned from, from this book reading only. So this is all connect atomic habits again same. So it is just connecting this thing, and real magic is implementation. I was so happy at that day, finishing report in 15 minutes because rest of the time is my time. So in that way, so please do implement those. And because he is always there, to support us. Yeah. That's the beauty.
Thank you very much. It is really helping. And then when we share also, we are kind of keep making the session interactive. If we're interacting, then we are making making it more deeper. Otherwise, maybe some YouTube session, if you have actually watched, it would not give you that kind of impact.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Yeah. Okay, great then. Thank you all for
Thank
joining.
you.
Thank you so much.
Pikajji. Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank
Enjoy.
you. Bye.
Cheers. Thank you.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good rest of the day and good rest of the weekend.
Awesome. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.